Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. And yeah, it's a support-focused episode because, we just did a big mission. Yeah, it was a big mission. It was the 7th one. So we're just going to go through a couple of supports, mainly Lysithea focused, but we still got Caspar's first and foremost. And obviously, again, this continues to play into this thing. There's also a good full circle thing, because obviously Caspar's very guilt-ridden because of what he's done. And he's feeling, I should just up it and leave because, I made such a big mistake. But obviously, Baila's like, no, you just made a mistake, but there's no big problem. But Caspar's thing is that the reason it eats him up is because Caspar is who he is. He's probably, one of the most straightforward characters in the game. Yeah, he's just a very straightforward character, and he's not really going to change. And while he embraces who he is, he also knows about the type of faults he has. So, it's that type of thing where he he's not exactly happy. He's happy, but not happy with himself. And, in a sentence like, I can't promise you that I'll change and all that jazz. Because some people are like that. They are kind of, I wouldn't say set in their ways, but their personality is long established. Especially when you reach a certain age, your personality and the way you act is pretty much established. And though you can vary depending on situations and still change, it's not as significant as when you're very young and you're much more impressionable. You're really okay with me? So obviously for Caspar, it's a really good realization for him that he at least knows and he's made full aware of his faults, but at the same time, then it's not enough for him to just give up and change who he is. So that's what everyone likes about him. But, and also, again, I think it's a really good characterization for Caspar that he takes flaws, he takes his mistakes so seriously. He just doesn't go like, oh, my bad, lol. Rasengan! Believe it! No, again, he does take it very seriously, and I think that's really, again, he's a simple but effective character, he's not that deep, but, again, when the shit gets real, it gets very real for him. And I really, really like that. So, I find Caspar really good in that sense. Again, Caspar and Linhart were the two characters where, Linhart I didn't think I'd like because he was just more laid back and didn't stand out much. And Caspar, honest to God, I thought he'd be annoying. And he has his moments, but generally, I love all the cast of Three Houses. It's just really, really great stuff. Yeah, just check the support. So yeah, we don't have many to get through, but now we've got Linhart and Petra as one. And this is a nice one too, because again, yeah. So basically, the whole wood thing they were doing, as in firewood, it ultimately didn't turn out for the best. They got a bit carried away and, they didn't think it through hard enough. But at the same time, Petra, Petra is very extremely appreciative of Linhart rather than being overly critical. Because a lot of people are very critical towards Linhart for, not doing, either trying to offer advice that they don't want well, Bernadette's case, she just kind of freaks out. Or, not working hard enough. So, but with Petra, someone who's very, who needs help with a lot of things in Fodland, someone willing to offer that, even if it doesn't work out, she's very grateful for, and, you can be leaving if you are wanting to. It's just really sweet between them, because, Linhart maybe a laid back, Linhart's not the type of person to be very, engaging and stuff like that, but Petra clearly appreciates all that he does when he does put effort in, and that can make a difference when people really show gratitude to what happens. It's why I, even though, even though, these videos don't get many views and comments, I do appreciate that people that actually do comment on it. And, and it goes to show, because there are times where I don't upload and people ask, are you going to upload soon? Which shows that they still care. So again, it's the little things, and Petra, so, it's that type of thing where Petra really appreciates Linhart and, why am I not bothering you? And stuff like that. But also Linhart's become much more fond of her, despite the fact that technically what she's doing is stuff that he hates. She's running him around, she's doing all these requests, and she's trying to really, not pester, but when he offers advice with the techniques, she's asking him to get physically involved, and he doesn't want that. But it's that, it's that appreciation that really, it inspires him, as it says in the dialogue. It's the appreciation and just the way they go about things, because Petra's not overly critical. She's not that type of person. Yeah, she'll give advice. She's not just say yes to everything, but she's much more soft-hearted and, very, 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 she's very grateful towards others. And, it can really, really make the difference, just showing people appreciation. Obviously, you don't have to completely lick their feet. I'm just saying, it's the little things sometimes. Just saying nice stuff like, oh, this was nice, or I really enjoyed this, or I like this format, and so on, or I like these characters, or thank you for doing something like this. That type of thing. I mean, I personally, I don't comment much on other people's videos, just because that's not the type of person I am, even the people I'm huge subscribed to. But when I feel there's something that needs to be pointed out, I do point it out. Like with Human Gaming, I just point out how like some of the videos improved. Some of Gig's stuff, I respond to like the questions he poses. With Some Call Me Johnny, and like I showed my anticipation for the Crash Bandicoot Marathon. Again, I'm not super engaging with videos, but I like to show appreciation whenever possible. Yeah. And obviously, you know, you've got the Lysithea support, and, well, here's the thing. Lysithea, I see, a lot of people say that Lysithea has something, like, has stronger supports with, like, the Black Eagles and like, some, like, the outside the Golden Deer. Not to say the Golden Deer are bad, just she has stronger supports outside of it. So, it's, you know, this one's really interesting because it's Linhart trying to discover about her to Crest, because obviously he's very interested. But obviously Lysithea's like, I don't want to talk about it, please. But Linhart finds very clever ways to work around it, but also reassure her that it isn't like a curse. It's the same with Marianne, because Linhart is interested in Crest research. And again, I love that expression on Lysithea's face. She looks legitimately scared and worried, like Again, the facial expressions are really good. You could really tell that she was scared and, she didn't want to find out the truth. Again, I've got to really give props to Fire Emblem Three Houses. It may not be graphically that impressive for a Nintendo Switch game, considering what's come before and what's coming later. But, well, more so before, because later's kind of a given. But, the facial animations are really damn good. But yeah, again, so obviously Linhart sees Lysithea as like a miracle. So, something like that. But obviously, at the same time, he doesn't understand fully the extent of it. So he's learning, so the pause between them, it's like, Lysithea's kind of grounding him. It's like, it's not as great as you once thought, but Linhart's saying it's not as bad as you once thought. And I think it works with Linhart, again, because Crest play a big part of this game. Someone who's legit interested in Crest, them and Hanneman, they can offer, either reassurance or comfort to characters that don't, care about Crest so much or not too happy about it. Oh yeah, so now we've got the Lysithea Edelgard one, where I've seen a lot of fan art with them as basically sisters. And this one's really, really cool as well, because obviously Edelgard's just trying to be a bit more attentive to Lysithea, take care of her, and stuff like that. But it's not just because she's smaller than a girl, so to speak. She doesn't view her as like a child. She just knows that she's been through the same thing Edelgard has. She has a lesser lifespan, and Lysithea is less physically powerful and stuff like that. Whereas Edelgard, she's been through the stuff, but she's still very strong. Lysithea is just magically strong, not physically. So she wants to help prolong her life as much as possible and just help her in any way. Because again, Lysithea has a limited lifespan, but, well, she feels she has a limited lifespan. I mean, different endings do go into that she did actually live a long life, or at least longer than normal. Yeah. But I mean, that's nice too. She doesn't like overly dote, because Edelgard's not that type of person, but she does, she knows about Lysithea, she can sympathize, so she's trying to stuff just to make her life easier. That's why in like the B support of Lysithea, she brings the cakes and all that jazz, because she knows Lysithea likes cakes, even though Edelgard doesn't care for them. But again, when you've got someone who you can really sympathize with, who's probably struggling more than you are,
take care of yourself.
Just because, Edelgard knows. There you go. But again, when you can sympathize with someone, you might be a bit more attentive towards them because you've been through something similar, and, that's how you'd want to be treated.
I don't mind, really.
So, it's a nice relationship. They're not overly, they're not overly, super doty, super close, like, super cutesy. It's just a case of, Edelgard cares for Lysithea and wants wants her to, prolong her life as much as possible. Edelgard's not going to sing her a lullaby, though that would be adorable,
I just don't know how much of it I should believe.
And also, she's not 100% sure if that's true, but she does find out in the end. And again, I think it's cool to have more than one character go through this, because, with a lot of main characters, they'll either go through an event. That's why Lynn and Hector kind of work, because, like Lynn's obviously, she's lost her parents and her tribe, and that's why she's so, hostile towards pirates, but also she has a go at Hector for his attitude and why he's a bit brash and cold. But Hector's the same. He's like, I know what it's like. I've lost my parents too, and yet at the time I could shed no tears. So they've been through something similar, but the experiences are still different. Probably because Hector, because of the type of person he is, and maybe because he was so young. Whereas Lynn lost her parents later on in life, where she was a bit more attached to them. Yeah, so stuff like that. And again, this support is very interesting too with Dorothea and Hubert, because, obviously Dorothea wants someone loyal, and Hubert is that type of person. So it's less about Dorothea just being like, oh, I suddenly fancy you, or it's like, oh, stuff like that. It's rather, she's actually quite taken by his show of devotion. It's like, if you can be that devoted to someone, it'd be nice to imagine you as a husband, because, yeah, Hubert might not be much of a romantic or very charming, but he's loyal, and he won't betray you, and he will do what you ask, and stuff like that. Obviously, he's not going to be a complete lapdog.
Like I said,
But again, that's why I feel it's more Dorothea's interested in Hubert. I don't know if she's straight up in love, but again, I can see it because, and again, Hubert, he's perfectly happy with Dorothea. He's not like, oh no, you're not Edelgard. Because again, him and Edelgard, it's more about, yeah, he loves Edelgard, but he's not like delusional to thinking, oh, I'm going to get with Edelgard because I show this stuff. It's like, no, I just, we have similar goals and I'm just devoted. Yeah. So it's just an interesting, type of marriage type thing. We've got someone who's super loyal to someone else and someone seeking loyalty, trying to find that middle ground where, Dorothea, I can, if I decide, maybe if I get with you, I can be more, devoted to changing the world, and then I can get to know you better, and maybe you can get to know me better, we can become closer as all that jazz. And even then, maybe Dorothea having that new approach to life, rather than being less self-centered, she just, applies herself to someone else. It could be refreshing. And at the same time, maybe Linhart finding, solace or just finding purpose outside of Edelgard would be better for him. Yeah, and again, Dorothea doesn't know what it's like to be wholly devoted. She's devoted. So, again, I found that interesting, because again, a lot of the A supports, and I like this about Three Houses, they don't just go straight to I love you. They just consider the prospect of, their future together and stuff like that, and show appreciation. It's less about, oh, we're an A support, I love you, let's get married, stuff like that. It's more just a case of, you mean a lot to me and all that jazz. And it's by the end, it's like, okay, do you want to get married, yes or no? So yeah, this one with Ferdinand's quite interesting too, because it goes on about how there was a person who, he achieved amazing feats, but he didn't really care for the reputation and stuff like that. And he's not that well known throughout history. Again, Ferdinand literally just learnt about him, and he's finds that Byleth is the same. Byleth doesn't care for the praise, he doesn't care for the glory, he just does what he does. And Ferdinand, obviously, it's a lesson to learn, you should just be happy with what you do, you shouldn't seek fame and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's kind of difficult, it's not easy, because, we all crave, affection, we all crave praise, we want to be put on a pedestal, so to speak, we want to be, loved and adored, by as many people as possible, because it's we're social creatures. And I kind of, and again, I'm not huge, I'm perfectly content, with what you call it, the fact that I've been able to gather 36,000 subscribers as it is. But ideally, my end goal was with YouTube at least end with 100k. Don't know if I'll reach it at that point, considering how YouTube is. But at the same time, it's that one thing. It's I'm happy with what I have. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not and it's the type of thing, you should be happy with what you have, but there's nothing wrong with striving for more. Because, striving for more can push you to become better and try harder and stuff like that. That's why I try harder with the videos. Because again, I could have been oh look, I got 10,000 subs, okay, I'll call it a day. It's no, I want to try harder, make better videos, draw more people in, and make more people stay around. And, whether or not it pays off, well, we'll have to see in the end. I mean, I feel it pays off in the sense of a lot more people just like my stuff. That's another thing. A lot of people now really like my stuff. I get far less criticism and more people give me a lot more praise. Because back then it was kind of hit and miss. Because again, I was in the early stage and I just kind of went off whatever I thought rather than actually looking deeper into things. But yeah. And obviously you want to leave your mark on the world because, it's just, that's just how it is. You want to be remembered after you're long gone. So yeah, I think I show this because I think we get a skill, but also I know, so yeah, we get a lot. So yeah, A and B skills for everyone.
This will serve me well.
Yeah, it's I suppose I can heal you when I'm not killing.
Practice is paying off.
Oh, I like alert stunts. And Manuela got Warp. That's probably one of the reasons she's worth keeping around, because again, Warp is one hell of a great skill, especially if you're doing an LTC run. Warp is great. And speaking of Manuela, I have enough to make her a bishop, so I will do just that. I don't really use Manuela in this run or Blue Lions, but I'll tell you what, if I'm doing a thingy run, Manuela's probably going to be one of my MVPs. Her, Seth Shamir, definitely be my main focus, and also Catherine. Possibly Hanneman too, I like Hanneman, but Manuela will probably be one of my main focuses because I really do like her, and I find her quite useful, all things considered. So anyway, that's the end of that part, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in. So next time we meet, it's going to be more supports again, but but I also think this is the one where we actually do get the Cornelia cutscene. You can just see me go, damn! But also there's a lot of Dorothea focus, and she's also damn. So until then, thank you all very much for watching. I will see you next time. Take care and have a wonderful day.